Hello, I'm Rosie, and today is the day that Dewey's 24-hour readathon begins. The actual start time for me is at 1 PM because I'm in the UK. Throughout the entire event I will be filming, and this video is basically just going to be me updating and wrapping up each book throughout the entire weekend, and I think it'll be very fun. So I'm quite excited to get started. I have 3 books planned I actually want to read during the readathon, and these are 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher, Bright Young Things by Anna Godbersen, and Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. All 3 of them are between 300 to 400 pages long, and I think I should be able to just about manage them because I do read quite quickly. But I do have backup options as well, and I've got a whole blog post about that, which I shall link below. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting started, and so I'll be spending next couple of hours getting ready for settling back with a good book and a cup of tea. This is reading location 1. It's basically my bed, which is comfy and generally where I read books. But of course, if I want a change of scenery, I have my sofa in the lounge with nice cushions, and if I still want to move, I have my other sofa near the window. So I've got options for moving around, which is always good because you don't want to be in the same place for any kind of marathon, be it running, reading or watching TV, because it does get uncomfortable after a while. Here I have my mugs all at the ready, and here is my selection of teas. I think they'll suit me quite well throughout the event, keeping me going through the lonely hours. I've also got a number of breaks planned because I will be needing breaks, and these breaks will probably end up being meal times, and I have plans to make a cake of sorts, and also Doctor Who puzzle, which is impossibly hard. That's taken me 2 days to get that far. Admittedly, that's also while writing a dissertation and doing job application, so I haven't actually spent that much time on it, but it is still a really difficult puzzle. So yeah, looking forward to getting started. The readathon is about to begin in about a minute. I am sitting in bed with 13 Reasons Why, which is my first book of the readathon. It's not too long and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'm set with a cup of green tea, I've just had lunch, and I'm looking forward to getting reading. I do have a slight headache, which I hope doesn't interfere with how much I read, but yeah, I may have to take more breaks than I had originally planned, which is a bit disappointing, but oh well. Time to get reading. I'm about an hour and a half into the readathon now. I'm halfway through 13 Reasons Why, and I've just got myself some ice cream to keep me going because I'm getting a bit peckish and warm because it's summer, or it feels like summer. I'm enjoying the story so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the end. It's really interesting what's going on at the moment. My first book is now finished after about 3 hours of reading. I'm quite tired now, so I'm going to have a short break where I'm going to write a quick review, which will be on my blog. Links to all the reviews will be in the description. I really enjoyed 13 Reasons Why. I thought it was incredibly well written, and the whole style of it was just fantastic, and the characters were believable, and the voices they were amazing. My initial instinct is to just tell everyone to read this. I think it's just really good. So I think now time for another cup of tea, a snack, maybe a nap. Yeah, and then I'll be starting either Bright Young Things or Only Ever Yours. I'll see how I feel. Just about to start on my second snack of the day. I have a nice cup of Grey's tea. I can't quite pitch that up, but it's really delicious stuff. And then banana bread, and it's healthy too, which is an added bonus. But yeah, I'm quite confident with my progress so far, though I've only read 1 book. But that's 1 out of 3, and it's only been 4 hours. 20 hours left. That's like another 5 books if I don't take any more breaks, which is unlikely to happen, but yeah, I'm feeling confident. I'm about halfway through Bright Young Things, which is my second Readathon novel, and I'm enjoying it so far. It's set in the 20s and I absolutely love the 20s, but I'm having a break now for food because I am absolutely starving despite my many snacks, and yeah, I'm making lots of progress. This book's going to be finished in about 3 hours maybe, if I include dinner time, so yeah, I should have time to start my third novel before bed. Maybe even finish it, if I can stay awake that long. At the second part of Bright Young Things, I have moved into my lounge, simply because I need a change of scene. So I've moved in here for the evening, where hot chocolate and crisps and ice cream are all a short walk away. Barely even 5 steps. So I'm well stocked up. And I've also got my Doctor Who puzzle, should I require a bit of distraction from the story. But I doubt that. I'm quite enjoying Bright Young Things at the moment. Cordelia's a bit annoying, but otherwise it's quite good. Let's get cracking on the next part of Bright Young Things and see what's going to happen next. 9:15 and I have just finished the Bright Young Things. It was good. I absolutely love the 20s era and all books basically set in that time, but the characters in this I didn't really relate to. 2 of them were incredibly selfish and the other was just very naive, and yeah, it's not as good as 13 Reasons Why, but it is still a very good book that you can just relax to. It's an easy book. I think it's the first in a series, so I may see if I can find the second 2 and maybe read those to find out what happens, because I'm quite curious. Like, this one ended like it was set up for a series, but then also ended like it tried to be a standalone, which I didn't think it worked quite well. But other than that, I really enjoyed it and it was nice end to the day. I may start another one before bed, but I may go to bed. I'm quite tired. We'll see. Good morning. I've now just woken up and I'm about to start the second day of the Readathon. I missed quite a few hours while I was asleep, but I've only got 1 book left to read on my TBR, which I'm definitely going to get finished by 1 o'clock, which is excellent news, and it means I'll probably have time to start another. I may see if I can finish City of Glass, which I've put on hold for the Readathon, or maybe start one of my backup books. It depends how much time I actually have. I've done it. I have read all 3 of my TBR pile for this Readathon. I've read 13 Reasons Why, Bright Young Things, and I've just finished Only Ever Yours. All the titles of which are 3 words long, I noticed. Most of my backup books were 3 words long as well. Must be a thing. I'm just drawn to books with 3-word titles. Anyways, I have about 2 hours left of the Readathon. That's not enough time for me to read a book on my backup list, so I'm going to use the time to try and finish City of Glass, which I started reading beforehand, and I've got about 250 pages left, so I should just be able to make it. So yeah, be a challenge, but it'd be nice to bring up my total to 4. See you when it's over. Well, that's it. That's the end of the 24-hour readathon. Sorry for looking a bit of a state throughout the whole thing, but I have been reading for 24 hours, so I'm going to use that as an excuse. I did pretty well, I thought. I managed to read a total of 4 books, as well as sleep for 8 hours right in the middle, which I think is pretty good. So in summary, I read 13 Reasons Why by Jane Asher. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it and I thought it was quite a powerful book that was also enjoyable to read, and I really enjoyed the format. I thought the format was really clever and the voices were really distinct, which was something that really stood out to me while I was reading it. Like, I had 2 separate voices in my head, which very rarely happens. I then read Bright Young Things, which I enjoyed. It was a very light read before bed, which I thought was good, but it didn't have that much kind of depth or weight to it, and the characters were slightly annoying that I couldn't really relate to them. They all seemed very shallow or self-obsessed, and I didn't really like that much, but I did enjoy the story, and I think I'm going to get the next 2 books in the series to find out what happens next. And yeah, because it's very promising, like it's well written and it does set up for a good series, and I absolutely love the 20s. I then read Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. This book was really good. It had so many good themes, and while it did start off quite slowly, once you got into the story it was really good, and the ending was just like completely thrilling. I had no idea what was going to happen, and the actual end just took me completely by surprise, and I did cry afterwards because there was so much built up emotion while reading it that I just had to let it out, and I thought it was a really clever book and I'm really glad I read it. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars because there were some points that I did struggle with while reading it, like some inconsistencies with characters, or some characters were very hard to work out why they acted a certain way. But yeah, this was a good book. I gave this one 3.5 stars. I forgot to say that earlier. Lastly, I finished To Leave Glass by Cassandra Clare. I absolutely love the Mortal Instruments series. I've only read these first 3 so far, and it definitely sounds like it's a trilogy. I don't know, I think maybe she initially planned it for a trilogy and then continued on the series, because this one rounds up the first 2 books really nicely and makes for like a nice break in the series. So I may start reading The Infernal Devices because I've got the first book for that. But I really enjoyed this book. I thought it built up very well and the characters were all you could recognise. And I did like the resolution to a couple of the relationships in the book. I give this book, I believe, 4 out of 5 stars. And I did really enjoy it, and it made for a nice end to the Readathon. That's it for my 24-hour Readathon. I am really glad I did it, and I'm looking forward to the next one, especially since I've now made it through 4 books on my TBR pile, which is really impressive. I'll put all the links to all the posts I made during the Readathon in thingy-mabob below, and so I hope you enjoyed that journey with me throughout the Readathon and my various states of deliriousness as I tried to read while also trying to stay awake. I'm off to make banana bread now. Looking forward to it.